Hi students. So some of you have said you're having difficulty with some of these calculations for the coefficient of skew, and I suspect that it's because they're longer calculations, and a really detailed approach and following order of operations is probably what's giving you problems here. So I'm going to work this one with you so that you can follow along and maybe see where the approach is. Now, in addition to understanding skew, there are some reasons that I'm assigning you these problems. They're going to help you later on. For example, one thing that I want us to really understand right now is that order of operations really does matter, and in fact, it can affects the outcome or affects the answer. How about that? Affects your answer. In your book, if you see a formula where certain things are typed above, the division line, and then there's a division line, you have to think of everything in the numerator, everything on you really think of it as three lines: the numerator, then a big division line, and then the denominator. Um, Everything above that division line is enclosed in a set of parentheses. They're not drawn because that is assumed by that large division line. So sometimes if you're just typing it into your calculator, that doesn't come across. The second thing that I think is going to really benefit you as you work these particular problems is to work in stages. Okay, work it very in small stages, and write the answers down. And then finally, what I would suggest for you to do is then bring all the stages together. And by doing this approach, doing it step by step, you're going to be more consistent in getting the accurate answer. And as you continue into working on more complex problems as we proceed through the semester, you're going to be more successful in your approach. If you try to do this all in your calculator, you're really going to run into problems. Now, in these early chapters, we do work with long lists of numbers, and there is one thing that you should do before you do anything else. Always do this step, and I hope you already know what it is. And what is that? You have to sort. You have to sort, okay? If you're not sorting, you could get the wrong median, the wrong percentile, quartile, decile. You can get wrong answers. You must sort. Now, Excel has a very nice sort feature. I'm sorry, it's a little off the screen there, but and that data was sorted. If it asks you to expand the selection, just simply tell it no. If you're saying, I don't know how to do this, look at the extra credit assignments, because I am encouraging you to use Excel because you're going to find that it really helps minimize your I'm trying to get where you can see some of these things, minimize your frustration level. Okay, now I've sorted this. I'm going to go over to this page where I have some things prepared because I mentioned that I'm working on the software coefficient of skewness, right? Now this is a large formula, but the thing is to do this in steps. For example, I would do this and calculate the left side first, and then I would calculate the right side, and I would write each of these steps down. Now the left side is the easier part, and I like that. I could start out and I could say, how many items do I have here? And one real simple way to do this is just to either use Excel's count function, and it displays down in the bottom part there, and or I can just do it this way to demonstrate to you that I have 15 items. Okay, 15 items. Now since I know I have 15, I'm going to delete that. That's my n value. Right, 15, and that's at the top, so that's within parentheses. And then it says I need to multiply by 15 minus 1, which is 14, put that together, and then by 15 minus 2, which is 13. Now I said I would do this in steps, didn't I? So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply 14 times 13. That's the bottom part. Now one thing I should do, I'm going to maybe move this over, because I'm going to say bottom left. You know why? Because I'll forget after a while. And remember that I'm supposed to divide that into top right, or top left. I'm sorry, what am I doing? I should have said left for both of these, right? Which was 15. So the answer to the left side, let me just even call that left side, is 15 divided by 182. Okay, so I'm going to remember that. I even do things like this in Excel where I will color code that, so I'll remember I have that portion of the answer.